Nigeria is a nation that breeds serial killers. People killed during riots, jungle justice, mob actions, and they are never prosecuted. Many of them go on to repeat these killings and actually brag about them. Do you know what is worse? Seeing seemingly sane human beings defend, politicize, and even justify these killings. Let me stop here and ask, how many people in Nigeria have you seen or heard of that had taken part in killings during riots or jungle justice that have been tried and prosecuted? It is not a rhetorical question. Ponder on it. The killers in Nigeria have hit the jackpot because they will always find those that will defend them. There is never enough collective outrage against them. I've seen many on social media defending their support for killings in the name of religion, while condemning that in the name of crime, and vice versa. You must have heard of the gruesome murder of 16 human beings who were burnt to death while traveling in Uromi, Edo State. Their killings initially did not get the outrage such barbaric and heinous killing was supposed to get, until their identity and geographical affiliation was ascertained, and then it became an avenue for politicization and justification, and was given the necessary attention and focus. What heartless and soulless country. It is heartbreaking that when you're killed in Nigeria, you have to be strategically positioned for your death to matter. If you are Muslim, then you have to be killed in the southern part of the country and also be someone from the north. It wouldn't matter if you are from the south and Muslim. If you are Christian, then you have to be killed in the northern part of the country. Otherwise, your death will not garner sympathy, even from people with whom you share the same faith or geographical affiliation. Until we see the murder of any human being for the gruesome act that it is, and not based on the lens of any justification, these killings will not stop.
And so it comes down to consequence management. The reality today is that people justify what, in any case, should not even be any basis for justification.
Yeah.
And they use all sorts of tropes. They use the ethnical trope, they use a religious trope, anything. It wasn't long ago, I think it was, how many years ago now, 3 years ago, that we were talking about the killing of Deborah.
Yeah, in Sokoto.
In Sokoto, yes. Or based on religious reasons. And I could very well remember that there were many people, I was shocked to find out there were a lot of people who came out publicly on social media to justify the killing, the extrajudicial killing of somebody just because she was alleged to violate some religious whatever. We have to, as a nation, do better. And you know, I don't have much to say than to call on the authorities to act. And one way they can do that is to make sure that anyone who is caught, whether for good reasons or whatever reason, is caught extrajudicial killings. They should be arrested, they should be tried, they should be jailed. We go back, this thing it's not just recent. Yeah. We go back to the Alu 4.
That's right, in Port Harcourt.
I don't know how many people remember that.
I remember that.
Where 4 young men were mobbed, they were killed. And today we don't know about what happened to...
Inconclusive, nothing.
So the Nigerian authorities must do better. And if we're able to probably use this particular case as an example of sending a message, then let's do that.
3 phrases: the politicization of killings, collective outrage, and the declining sense of empathy. You know, it's frightening that people just die. You hear of Yahoo plus people who, as we say in Nigeria, buy their girlfriends, and nothing happens. You wait for there to be a public conclusion of these cases. You just hear about the cases, the police are working on it, or on them, and that is the end. So it's as if we've normalized people dying or people being killed just like that. Aisha, this is coming at a really good time to say what has happened to our sense of value, what has happened to us as a people, because you talked about collective outrage. Because if we're not talking about this death, we're not talking about that death, we are inadvertently normalizing it, you know, and enabling more. You know, so it is frightening. I wonder how governors, because this is not even about the president, how our governors, our legislators at the state level can nip this. It's no longer in the bud anyways, become normalized. How can they begin to reverse this sort of enablement that we all are, you know, are doing?
Okay, I would like to ask, how inhuman do you have to be to watch or participate in the burning of another human being? Alive, not even a dead person. You know, we are so desensitized. We so much lack empathy, and we are not even in a war zone. Like, how, like, I saw bits of the video, I couldn't watch it, but you know, sometimes you scroll through social media and you see autoplay, and there were people around. There were people making videos, and no one was saying, stop. Pause.
Human beings.
Human beings like you. It could have been you. It could have been anybody. Anybody can just come out and say, oh, I think this person is this. And then you get what? We need to do more in attaching consequences to jungle justice or mob action. There is not a lot being done in that space. We need to not just arrest and prosecute, we need to publicly scapegoat and let people know that this is not acceptable. And communities also need to rise up. We need to be able to say, we don't want this in our community. It wasn't this bad in the past. I mean, when people talk about Nigeria has always been divided, but it has never been this bad, that you would just pick someone when there is no war going on and just literally burn them. It is sad, and you know, I've been trying to, I've kind of like repressed it. I've been trying to compartmentalize it, but no. And then the value of a life in Nigeria is directly proportional to the amount of ethnic, religious, or political vitriol it can generate. And it's so sad.
Why do we have to condemn where we can prevent?
That's right.
Like, jungle justice comes from a place of protecting ourselves. They've either seen somebody killed within their neighborhood by armed robbers, by kidnappers. They've seen these things, and then they feel like, if you can do that to us, we can do that to you too. Lack of understanding, lack of education. We're talking about people who are in the lower part of our society, right? It doesn't justify. So how do we make sure that we prevent it from happening in the first place? By making sure that we have proper security in these communities so that the people within the community don't take laws into their hands and having to protect themselves in the first place, right? And then also, when we talk about things like you said, a case will come up, we hear about it, but we hear about it because the media takes it up. Not because police come and tell you. Because you report it, I report, we all report it, but we don't follow up. Because once it goes, we don't come back and say, wait, guys, what happened to this thing? We have to be, the media has to be the one to bring it back to the attention of the people, because you brought it to attention in the first place. Right? So if we want to do this, it's a collective effort. It's every arm taking responsibility. Is the judiciary taking responsibility to make sure that anybody that's caught is held accountable? Is the media taking responsibility to make sure that they follow up?
And then the government also, they must begin to prosecute people. Nothing stops anything like people actually paying the price. But right now what we have, over time, someone will still guide it, someone will do, they will get away with it. At the end of the day, if we do nothing, this will continue to go up. We teach our children to call a spade, whereas we have taken to calling it whatever we like. And that has to stop.
Aisha, it's clear that some values not only have to be thought, but instilled through reforms, and this includes the value of life itself.